on the Antidrag Generator. I've been sort of preoccupied with other things, and after all this time, the segments in the rotor assembly on the front rotor section, I've got the middle rotor section and the front rotor section with the new segments, and I've still got to do the rotor at the back with the new arrangement. So what I found out was that I had to put some packing in. I'll show you on that other rotor. I think I could show you on there. Just a minute. I'll take the old rotor out. Well, this is an old rotor. Basically, I put some packing material between the back of the segment and the wall of the rotor assembly, because as it was spinning, it was going out of balance because there was a bit of slack. If there's a bit of slack in there, and I was using double-sided tape, so I put some thin paper or card, very lightweight stuff, to pack it to tighten it up so that it wouldn't go out of balance when it started to increase in speed. And the other thing I found out was that the closer the magnet arrangements are to the coil, the more efficient it is in output and lower input current. So I'll turn the big light off because you can't really see it properly with the lights on. Right, so, actually I'll show you the input current first because it's easy to see it. So the input current is actually only at 100 milliamps. Maybe a tad over, but our input voltage is still at 9 volts. Still about 9 volts. Yeah, I haven't moved it. It's still at the same setting. So our 100 milliamps input current, and RPM has gone up a little bit. It's at 1178, so 1178. So we're pretty close to 1200 RPM. So we're actually doing a bit better on RPM. The oscilloscope readings. I have to read, because I've been using the oscilloscope for the choke recently. I've got to reset this, but it's peak to peak 22.8 on the main output, and cyclic is 7.44 volts on the cyclic, and our frequency is about 59 hertz, and that other waveform is, sorry, the other readings are for the other waveform, the lower output coil. That's the other coil on the back on this coil, and the main coil is this one. So the main coil is the blue trace and the secondary coil is the yellow trace. So anyway, it's doing better. So I'll turn the light off because you can't really see the LEDs properly. My trigger circuit on the triac circuit is flicking on much more consistently now because it's producing a bit higher RPM and a bit higher output, and all the LEDs are flashing there, and our light, the LED that produces a lot of light is there, and we're running these other LEDs as well. I haven't really shown the current on this. Actually, it's a bit difficult because there's all these extra coils, because I've got 2 sets of coils, and it's a bit difficult to measure the output really, because of all this circuit that's involved. But I suppose I'll have to do that later on. The point is, I haven't changed anything on the output side, but we are seeing more output on the LEDs. So yeah, so I'm actually charging this battery, these nickel metal hydride batteries up at the moment, because that's what runs the frequency, the RPM counter, and because I haven't used it for ages, the flipping things have gone flat. So yeah, but it's doing pretty good. It's there's still more work to do on it, obviously, and as I say, it's still extremely experimental. But if you've been following the progress, you'll know that in each phase of the experiment, my battery's fully charged by the looks of it. Them batteries have had it; they won't take a charge properly. I'll turn that off actually now, because save my juice. Hang on. Charging it. Trying to charge them up, it won't take a charge. It'll probably go flat in a few minutes. So anyway, the RPM is definitely much higher than it was earlier. I think it was about 1150 or something when I did the last live stream, but it's a long time ago. Must be a month ago, and I can't remember now. I'll have to go and review the last footage I did. But we can compare it. I'll put it in the playlist anyway. I'll put this live stream in the same playlist so you can follow through. Yeah, so I'm quite optimistic about it, but as I say, it's all experimental and it's not something you can use yet to power anything useful, so it's mainly for testing. Yeah, so, but we are making slow progress. I was very interested to see that video that James did. Was it James? I think, yeah. I did a video about that yesterday, where he seems to have found a solution for the magnet motor, but I'm not sure though, because I watched it a second time, and well, we really need to see if it can accelerate, and he hasn't shown that. He showed us where it was already running, and then he showed us him slowing it down with his hand, but that's not conclusive in my view. It's got to be, well, we all know it's got to show that it can actually accelerate, and I wonder if he's got an RPM meter. It would be nice if he has, because he could show us it speeding up with an RPM meter. I don't know if he's got one, but he should have one, really, because that's critical for doing this kind of experiments. It's why I've got an RPM meter. I can keep an eye on what speed my stuff is running at and see what load factors affect the speed and everything else. And yeah, he really needs to have that, some means of measuring his RPM. Anyway, so that's it, just a quick update. As I say, we are making some progress, but I don't know waffle on for too long, because I still have to print some more segments for the back, and as I say, what I have noticed is that the closer I get the coil to the magnets, the more efficient it becomes and the less it slows down under a specific load. So what I get from that is the fact that the anti-cogging effect has more chance of reaching those series magnets, the magnets that are in a chain, you know, like on the side. So when the coil is closer to those, it can have a greater influence to that array to reduce the drag. Now, obviously, the bigger the field is that's been projected out from the main drive magnets, the more the coil needs to be able to influence the magnets that are on the side to counteract the drag. And obviously, if you have a greater gap, then it's going to have less of an effect with the anti-cogging. So you see what I'm getting at. Anyway, that's it for now. Stay safe, everybody, and oh yeah, we heard it on the news today that there's definitely going to be blackouts, 3-hour rolling blackouts apparently this winter, if the weather's really bad. That's what they said. Yeah, well, we'll see. Anyway, that's it. Bye for now.